Welcome to your English lesson today. Have you ever felt like your mind is too full? Have you ever felt stressed or worried about your future? Today you will learn English through a powerful story about a man named Leo. Leo lost everything: his job, his happiness, and his peace of mind. But then he discovered a secret habit that changed his life forever. Listen closely to the story. We will use the shadowing technique. This means you should listen carefully, pause the video after a sentence, and repeat the words aloud. This will improve your English speaking and pronunciation very fast. Let's begin our story. Chapter 1. The Heavy Mind. Leo sat at his small kitchen table. The room was dark and the clock on the wall ticked loudly. He looked at his hands. They were shaking because he was very stressed. 1 week ago, Leo lost his job at the bank. He had no money, many bills to pay, and a very loud mind. Every night, Leo could not sleep. His brain never stopped talking to him. "What will you do tomorrow?" his mind whispered. "You are a failure," his mind said. Leo felt like he was trapped inside a heavy dark cloud. He wanted to run away, but you cannot run away from your own thoughts. His room was full of old boxes, dust, and silence. Then Leo saw something small on the floor. It was under the kitchen table. He leaned down and picked it up. It was an old notebook with a black cover. The pages inside were completely white and empty. Leo found a blue pen in his pocket. He looked at the blank page for a long time. He decided to do something he never done before. He decided to write. Chapter 2. The First Words. Leo put the pen to the paper. He did not know what to say. At first he wrote simple words. "I am tired. I am afraid." Then the words started to flow like water. He wrote about his old boss. He wrote about his anger and his fears for the future. He wrote for 10 minutes without stopping. When he finished, Leo looked at the paper. The page was covered in blue ink. Suddenly, Leo took a deep breath, a very deep breath. For the first time in many weeks, his chest did not feel tight. The heavy cloud in his mind was a little lighter. Why? Because the bad thoughts were not inside his head anymore. The bad thoughts were now on paper. Leo closed the notebook, turned off the lamp, and went to bed. That night, for the first time in a month, Leo slept for 8 hours. Chapter 3. The Daily Routine. The next morning, Leo woke up at 7 o'clock. The sun was shining through his window, and he felt a small spark of hope. He sat at the kitchen table and opened the black notebook again. On a new page, he wrote, "Today, I will look for a new job. I am strong." Every morning and every evening, Leo made a cup of hot tea and wrote in his journal. He wrote about his daily routine. He wrote about the breakfast he ate. He wrote about the people he saw on the street. He also wrote about his goals. He wrote down his dreams in simple English sentences. This habit became his anchor. It was the most important part of his day. After 2 weeks of writing, Leo noticed a big change. He was not afraid anymore. He was organized, calm, and focused. When he wrote down a problem on paper, the problem looked smaller. It was easier to find a solution when the thoughts were visible. Chapter 4. The Mystery in the Notebook. One evening, a strange thing happened. Leo was reviewing his notes from the previous week. He turned the pages carefully, reading his own handwriting. Suddenly he stopped. His heart began to beat very fast. At the bottom of a page from last Tuesday, there was a sentence he did not remember writing. The handwriting was different. It was elegant and old-fashioned. The sentence said, "Look inside the old wooden clock in the hallway." Leo stared at the words. He lived alone. Nobody had the keys to his apartment. Who wrote this message in his private notebook? Leo stood up. His legs felt weak, but curiosity was stronger than his fear. He walked slowly into the dark hallway. On the wall hung an old wooden clock. It belonged to his grandfather, but it did not work anymore. The clock was silent and covered in dust. Leo reached his hand up to the top of the clock. His fingers touched something made of cold metal. He pulled it down. It was an old heavy key. Chapter 5. The Secret Box. Leo walked back to the kitchen light, holding the mysterious key. He looked at his notebook. The message was still there, written in elegant ink. Leo remembered that there was an old wooden box in his closet. His grandfather gave it to him many years ago, but it was always locked. Leo ran to his closet and pulled out the dusty box. He put the key into the lock. It fit perfectly. With a small click, the box opened. Inside there were no gold coins or diamonds. Instead, there was a stack of old letters. Leo opened the first letter. It was written by his grandfather 40 years ago. Leo read the words aloud. My dear grandson, if you are reading this, you have found the key. You found it because you learned to listen to your thoughts. The letter continued. When I was young, I was very poor and unhappy. Then I started to write down my thoughts every day. It saved my life. This box contains the deed to a small piece of land. It is yours now. Use it to build a new life. Leo sat in silence. Tears filled his eyes. He realized something beautiful. His grandfather's habit was now his habit too. Chapter 6. A New Beginning. 1 year later, Leo was a completely different man. He lived in a small, beautiful house on the land his grandfather left him. He had a new job that he loved, and he was very happy. But Leo never stopped his daily habit. Every single day, he opened his notebook. He wrote down his thoughts, his worries, his joys, and his gratitude. Writing did not just give him a piece of land. It gave him control over his own life. It helped him understand his emotions, learn from his mistakes, and speak to his own soul. Leo looked out the window at the green trees. Then he looked down at his notebook and wrote his final thought for the day. The greatest power in the world is the power to understand your own mind. What a beautiful journey for Leo. Writing down your daily thoughts is truly powerful. It can clear your mind, reduce your stress, and even change your future. It is also an amazing way to practice writing in English every day. Now, it is your turn to practice. To improve your English speaking quickly, replay this video. Listen to each sentence carefully. Pause the video and repeat the words aloud. Copy my pronunciation and my pace. This is the shadowing technique, and it will make you a confident English speaker. Thank you for watching and learning with me today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more English stories. See you in the next lesson.